Well,
Bit
there's
late.
two of you. There's two of you. As this is the first time we're all together, so there's one person missing who can't be here today. I'm not going to ask you to do that creeping thing of, tell us a bit about yourself, but just introduce your name, and anything you want to say, but just so we all know one another finally.
Hi, I'm Geraldine. I'm in Manchester.
Sue?
I'm Sue. I'm in Wiltshire. I've been quarantining. This is my second week, so just let you know that's where I'm in the world.
Gosh.
And Sharon?
I'm Sharon in Hampshire. Yeah, I'm Sharon in Hampshire.
Okay.
And Jackie?
And I'm Jackie in Broxbourne, working at home.
Yeah. Well, Sharon, just as you popped on, Jackie, Sharon was telling us how she just come off a work call too, and because I know you've been working, what I'd started off with was talking about this morning, asking everyone their scale of 0 to 10. Jackie and I haven't spoken to one another for ages, but we've worked together in the past, have we not?
We have, yes.
So although you haven't got around to posting in the group yet, I'm just curious, on that scale of 0 to 10, do you remember doing that? Yeah.
Yes.
So where do you feel like your number is at the moment?
I'd say I'm not too bad today, quite positive. I'd say about 7.
Ooh!
It's not too bad. It's a slightly better day today.
Good. So what are the highlights?
So why the 7s? I have managed to get a couple of worky bits across the line, which have been a pain in the bum to do. I actually have the confidence to say to a prospective client, sorry, can't do that, or if you want it, it's going to be an extortionate amount of money, and they said yes, which I was actually thinking, oh drat, actually I didn't want to do that, which made me chuckle, because actually that shows how much I've moved on, and you'll appreciate that, Shirley. And I actually managed to get an appointment to see my mum 2 weeks' time, and I got a phone call from my son, who's 19 and in the RAF. He only rings if it's an emergency or he wants something. Today, for the first time ever, I got a call with a bit of an update. Nothing wanted, no emergency. It was like bloody marvellous. So yeah, it's actually made my day.
Nice. Well, that's all lovely.
One moment.
Yeah. Dog alert. Dog alert. So Sharon, let's see if we can help you find something that you can go, yeah, because there was something that you felt was worth celebrating, even in a small part, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah. I was just saying that yesterday. Sorry, I'm just feeling so frustrated that I can't find a quiet place in this blinking house to work. Got one studying college upstairs and the other doing his uni work upstairs, and the Wi-Fi not working in the private room, and I'm like, oh. But yeah, no, I went out for a walk with my older son, who's off to uni next week, and with the dog, and that was just, it's just nice to reconnect and chat in the fresh air, which it does you good. And getting a bit of work sent on Sunday, I think it was. I worked all weekend. I was really cross at having to do that, but I sent it Sunday night. I thought, oh. So yesterday I was feeling a bit better, same as you.
Good.
But I think that's my question, is like, how much of life is due to kind of just menopause symptoms, fuzzy head, everything else, and what's the mix between that and just ridiculous workloads?
Okay, so the truth is there's no line that you can go, oh, well, this bit's definitely about menopause and that bit's about work. Unfortunately, you just can't extricate it like that. But what I would say is, menopause is going to affect us. Like that's just a given. So menopause will affect us because of the changes in estrogen and progesterone and testosterone. So we're going to get something, but the other stuff that you're talking about is like, oh, all right, so and now this is layered on top. And so when I'm, you know, when I was doing this for myself and when I'm working with other people, it's about, I mean, it's simple stuff really, but it's going, okay, let's see what we can control, which bits, and increase the scope and the sense of control you have in all areas of life. So, but it's not about being prescriptive. It's not about saying, right, all of you, what I want you to do, go sort out your work. That's not it, because each of us will have different challenges and they alter day to day. Because I think that's the other thing I really want to stress is, if it's not already clear, is there's no sense of generic here at all. So it's about shifting your focus to today, for example, in the way, you know, Jackie, you gave me a nice example of what happened today. And, you know, you all gave an example, but that's what matters, is what happens today and what do we want to happen tomorrow. And it sounds crazy, but if you said, okay, like work is my problem, if only I could sort out work, is that kind of what you're feeling, Sharon?
At the moment, only because it's a critical point at work for another few weeks, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not just that, it's just me.
Yeah, so it's how we respond to it. So if you were to think about, like, so the rest of the day goes on as it is. This is for all of you, by the way. You know, we hang up, we all go off, do whatever it is we're doing, you know, Sue's in isolation. Everyone else is on deadlines, or you know, maybe the opposite, just maybe some of us are just thinking, I don't really know what to do. It doesn't really matter, but imagine the rest of the day is just what you expect, as in interruptions. You know, you can't get necessarily the life that you want in this moment, but you go to sleep. And while you're asleep, even if you have really bad sleep, I want you to imagine that you will sleep at least for part of the night. And during that night, something magical happens. We don't know what happens, but some kind of magic, a miracle happens, so that by the time you wake up in the morning, you have no idea that the miracles happened because you were asleep when it happened. But I want you to imagine, from the moment you wake up and you start moving through the day, at what point do you start to think, hang on a minute, this doesn't normally happen, to the extent that, you know, little things start happening, that you perhaps start thinking differently, feeling differently, doing things differently, other people respond differently, and you start to think, oh, this is a bit miraculous, like something's changed, something massive has changed. So thinking about your own life today, tomorrow, what are the first things you might notice from the moment you wake up?
So the good things, you mean? Like, just try and focus on what the good things would be.
Yes, because those would be evidence of miracles. So let me give you an example for those of you that are familiar with this weird question. It will be different for everybody, but as an example of how small this could be, it could simply be, you have an alarm set, the alarm goes off, 99 times out of 100 you'd hit the snooze button, but for some miraculous reason on this morning you go, oh, how lovely, the birds are singing, oh, I think I'll get up. That kind of stuff. Is that helpful?
I could go back to my sleep thing and say the first thing that I would realise is that I'd slept through the night and I hadn't woken up in the middle of the night.
That's great. Love it. Okay. And if you pursue that a little bit further then, so you wake up and you think, oh my goodness, I slept through the night. We all know how good that feels. So what would be the next step that you'd notice?
Well, when you from your example, I was thinking the same thing. That's kind of, you know, feeling like you want to jump out, bounce out of bed and kind of, you know, start singing with the birds or something. I'm in my niece's bedrooms. I'm surrounded by princesses and dolls. So maybe that's why I'm in the kind of Disney Disneyland mode. But yeah, just kind of having a, you know, having a feeling of joy and wanting to kind of get on with the day and feeling refreshed and, you know, revitalized by sleep.
Yeah. So push that forward just a little bit more. So you're feeling joyful, revitalized, you're singing with the birds. Then when you feel like that, what then happens? Potentially.
Yeah. We might be going back to purpose again, but I kind of, you know, I don't, because I'm aware that I'm in a different place to at least a couple of you, in that I'm not working, so I don't have the experience at the moment of you know, workloads and deadlines. I know what it's like, but I don't have that at the moment. But there's a kind, you know, there's I know that if I do have something start in my diary, or a meeting or something, then actually that does make me feel that gives me a focus when I wake up.
Okay.
Rather than, you know, there's like two weeks of quarantine, it's quite difficult to have enough things to go, oh yeah, I've got that and that and that and that. You know, we've all been in lockdown, so we know what that's like. But even if it's, oh, I need to go to the post office, it's something that you can go, yeah, I need to tick that off. If you've got a whole day of, you know, it's luxury, and I know that, you know, think that some people will go, yeah, I'd love just to have a completely empty day, but it needs to be a balance, doesn't it? So I think in my miracle, it would be not being too busy, but having things to look forward to that you know, are engaging and yeah, make you feel like actually this is going to be a good day and I've got these things to do.
Brilliant, thank you. Does that help for everyone else? Are you now all kind of thinking of extra things in your own that might be different if this miracle occurred?
It's completely different for me because I'm not doing any work really at the moment, because I completely lost I'm self-employed and I completely lost my confidence when I became menopausal, and I haven't really done anything for a while, the odd little bit, but the work that I do is stressful, and there's just no room for the menopause in it.
So stay focused though on your miracle. That's the important thing, because the last thing we want to do is get sucked back into it. Stay focused on the miracle.
Well, in some ways, it's already started to happen, because I said to my husband this morning, I said, I felt for so long that I can't work, I haven't got the confidence, I sometimes didn't even want to leave the house. When I have something in my diary, quite the opposite to Sue, I feel anxious. I can feel anxious about doing, but at the moment, I said to my husband just today, I actually feel now as if I want to get back into work. I'm not perhaps the same type of work, but something different. I want to, whereas before, I was thinking, I don't even feel employable. I don't even feel as though I could do a really basic job. I just felt so incompetent and de-skilled, and I'm rubbish with computers, as you know, Shirley. And I don't feel as though I've moved into the 21st century, and I don't have kids either, so I don't have, you know, I think there's a difference with friends of mine who've got children. They know how to do these things because the children show them, whereas I've not had that. But I do actually feel already it's starting to happen. I agree with Sue about waking up knowing that I've slept through the night. That would be great, but that's not happened for decades. But I am sleeping slightly better, so that's good. And I actually am feeling as though I do want to now do something, and that I have got some confidence back, so that's good. And again, with Sue, just waking up and feeling like I'm in a Kellogg's cornflake advert and I'm jumping out of bed and the sun's shining. Like, I've got this rod of Eve, and it's slightly, I can feel bits of it coming back, so that's good. But those things, the jumping out of bed and the joy, definitely, and sleeping through the night, I can definitely identify with Sue on that. The other thing about having things in my diary, just someone coming to the house. I mean, not at the moment because we're in lockdown anyway, so no one is coming to the house, but it just makes me anxious. If I know someone's coming to read the meter or do a job in the house or anything like that, was really making me anxious. I just didn't want anybody or anything to happen because but that's getting better. And I do think that's related to the menopause completely.
So you're moving in, you know, this is only our first gathering, so you're moving in the right direction already. So part of this thing is to remain as focused as you can on what's working, what feels better, what might feel better, because you can see how easy it is to have your brain go. So you start off with a nice thing, and then your brain goes, oh yeah, but what about this stuff over here? Oh, you need to worry about that. What about this? You know, it's still in that place, and that's normal. But it's to, you know, my job is to just keep, while we're in these things, just kind of gently shepherding your back into what works. So well done, Sing with the Birds. And I just want to quickly say, before I bring Sharon and Jackie in as well, I know I probably said this in my 3-part series introduction. God, that was fun, wasn't it? That you're on, you know, we have commonalities in this. That's why we're here, because of commonalities. But also, remember, this is your personal journey, that everybody's problems are of equal weight, of equal drama. You know, if they're a problem for you, that's all that matters. And it doesn't matter whether they seem to compare to anybody else's. This is your personal journey of where you want to go, where you've been, that you get out of it what you want. So just keep that in mind. Jackie, Sharon, would either of you like to jump in?
I'm really sorry, but my dog's in the garden. He loves being outdoors, but he's barking, and I just...
No, you get him in. Get him in.
Sharon, do you want to go next?
Come here. Come on.
Sharon, are you all right? Do you want...
Yes, second son's just come down now. College has just finished. Can I have a bowl of cereal? Oh.
Don't you love them? Don't you just love them? We do love them.
I'm like, get out, just give me half an hour.
I know. Do you not have 4G? Just...
I'll tell you, I'm going to go mad at my husband tonight. I'm going to say to him, get that Wi-Fi working in that room.
Maybe that would be your miracle then.
Yeah, that and being told you've got a year's travel around the world on a luxury cruise all paid for, that would be... So yeah, no, I think if I woke up something, it would be, I guess, to feel that I could wake up, good night's sleep, yeah, feeling bright, and I had a day ahead of me where I could just spend some time, I suppose, with the boys really, and the dog, and just be.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, just be. Because I know we've all got kind of different, but I appreciate if I had to just be every day for 2 weeks in lockdown, I'd be like,
Yeah.
So yeah, a miracle would be to wake up and just feel there was some time not to have to do things and to spend it with the kids, or especially before one goes, and the dog, and just not have to be doing something somewhere
Yeah.
all the time.
So if you were just feeling, would you be just being in the house? Or would you just be out walking the dogs as you were?
I think I think I could just be to tidy my house. That would be a good one.
Okay,
Um,
well, that's good. That's fine.
but do you know what? I can't remember the last time I felt, and I'm really grateful because I know I'm working and I know I've got to work. So I appreciate that I can work, but I don't know, just the time to take the dog for a walk and not have to think, need to be back in 15, 20 minutes, or just read a book, just to say,
I like it.
there you go, glass of wine, book, no one else
Yeah.
to say, is that done, is that done?
And what kind of book might you choose?
Non-fiction.
Like biographies or what kind of non-fiction?
No, just some, no, I like, I guess I like things that are true and where I can learn from, or just something that interests me, actually. I suppose it could be any book. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anything that just grabbed my interest. I think it's just the point of saying I can just do this. I've got half an hour here and I can sit and read and have a glass of wine and not feel the guilt that I should be doing something else that needs doing.
Okay, so there's you with your book, just sitting reading your book and absorbing.
That'd be lovely.
So Jackie.
Oh, I said glass of wine. Sorry, I didn't actually mean first thing in the morning.
No, I didn't. I don't think any of us thought that.
Oh,
You're fine.
there's a Freudian slip, isn't it? Gosh.
No, it never occurred to me. It's all about just focusing on things that make a difference. And it's the first little things. That's all that we want. It's just to start this little breadcrumb trail of getting your brain joining the dots of what feels good, what lights you up, what moves you forward. So you're fine. We didn't think you were drinking, going to the bathroom and having a swig. So. Jackie. Oh, your sound's gone again.
Is it gone again?
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Okay. Sorry, we had the dog come into play in the background there. Sorry.
a dog chorus, don't we?
Indeed. I'd like to start getting my head around the peaks and troughs that have appeared since menopause. I seem to have far more control at times and then no control over it. And it always occurs at the most inconvenient of moments. It's those, as I think it was Geraldine says, that suddenly, ooh, can I actually do this? Knowing damn well that I can, but actually that fear factor crops in. Or it's absolutely that I feel exhausted. I get up absolutely wiped. But there's no rhyme or reason other than I think the menopause is behind it somehow, that I've got no way of knowing what tomorrow's actually going to bring. I know what the diary says and I know what I should be doing, but actually internally where I'm going to be. Okay. And I'm getting quite good at faking it, but that's not what I want to be about. No. I want to actually genuinely be where I was before.
Yeah. Well,
pretending is so exhausting. Pretending that everything's okay and oh, it's exhausting and it's anxiety provoking.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. So you talk about, some days you wake up and there's stuff in the diary and, you're okay with it. But if this miracle happens so that you're in control of the day, and let's kind of open that right now, because I think what happens, especially when you're in work, is that being in control does mean a diary. It means, keep it in the diary, this is happening here, meeting there, phone call there, Zoom. Do you know what I mean? That's what being in control means. But what about how you feel when you're in control? This miracle happens. What do you notice that says, no, I'm in control? I'm in control. Not my diary, not other people, not anybody. I'm in control. How would you notice that?
I'm a lot better with my diary than I used to be. I do plan in periods of time to get things done, and I try and not have Fridays as a going out seeing client day. But I would say it's what's going on internally, Shirley. It's the diary side I can deal with. That really isn't too bad. I've got the confidence now to say, no, I really can't do that this week. It's going to have to be next week, so that I don't have to run at a rate of knots. But it's actually what's going on in terms of me suddenly think, wow, I feel like I've hit a wall of exhaustion, and actually then the brain fog switches on, and then it's a oh shit moment. Actually the brain's not working and I've got to deliver something.
Yeah.
It's that bit of being able to get over that brain fog.
Okay. So if you got over the brain fog, where would the first evidence be? Remember, you've been asleep, miracles happened, you've no idea, you've woken up, the brain fog's gone.
I would say it would be hitting the deadlines without even thinking about it, that actually it's done a couple of days before, rather than that last minute, it has got to go.
Okay. So does that mean that you find yourself starting projects sooner? Is that, I don't want to lead you into things, but I want to understand it.
I have been trying to start them earlier, but there's starting them earlier when the brain's just not working versus actually the brain's fueled, right, off we go.
Yeah, yeah. What, I don't want to push it too far because I want to make sure that we get time, but what else, what other options would there be if a miracle happened? So remember, a miracle means everything that's always happened the way it's happened so far isn't the only way it could happen. So the miracle means it could happen anyway. Anything could happen.
Right.
If you're able to suspend judgment for a moment, what other options would there be?
The brain is back how it was 5 years ago, and just I don't even have to think about it. That actually little windows of that appearing got bigger. What was automatic is no longer automatic, is another way of saying it. So actually, yeah.
Right. Anything else anyone wants to throw in, ask at this point on our very first gathering? No?
Can I say, I don't know whether, I don't know, you can tell me, Shirley, but I just wonder if, I mean, what I try and do, that's a better way to say it, what I try and do is not think about getting back to where I was, but what I want to be in the future, kind of evolving into something else, because we're all still evolving and developing and growing. So I don't know whether that's maybe a useful way of thinking, that we can't kind of go back to when we were 40 or 45, but it's kind of embracing what we can embrace in our future, you know, in the now and in the future.
I think that's really I think that's really helpful, and we've just begun this journey, but I feel fairly confident by the time we've been through the whole journey that actually that's where you'll all be, of seeing things differently, that and who knows what that differently will be, but it's about embracing who you are, what your strengths are right now, and kind of rediscovering a part of yourself that perhaps you might not even have recognized before, maybe not given any value to before, and just finding abilities and skills that maybe you didn't realize you had, but that's all for the future. We're only in this moment right now. So Sharon, you're in the most difficult position. In fact, Jackie, you don't look like you're in the most comfortable. I know you can shut your door. Can everybody get themselves into a space where they could actually sit comfortably and close their eyes? Because we're going to do a little bit of a hypnosis session that I promised